These are the top 7 Google Ads mistakes that we see in ceramic coating, paint protection film, and detailing Google Ads. Let's start with number 1, and that's going to be following the Google recommendations. So you'll see on the mobile app, desktop version, and even emails, they'll recommend certain things to change, turn on about your, or add to your Google Ads campaign. Problem is we don't want to just blindly follow those recommendations, because more often or not, they cause harm to the campaign rather than doing good. There's some recommendations that do well, but just blindly following them is just basically putting on a blindfold and just handing over your money to Google. It just doesn't work well. What we do recommend is just use some common sense, see what they're suggesting, see how your campaign's running, and see if it makes sense to apply that suggestion or not. The second item is using only or way too much broad match keywords. So there's been a big push with Google with using broad match keywords. While they do have their place and they can be beneficial when used properly, oftentimes we see them just wasting so much ad spend. The reason is the broad match is anything related to your search term. So for example, you can have broad match ceramic coating keyword, but kind of related to that is tint, car painting, car audio, car wash near me, irrelevant searches that aren't necessarily going to be beneficial for that specific keyword and for that specific campaign. The recommendation would be to stick with exact match and phrase match keywords. That way you're not just blindly wasting ad spend. Those are going to be your safest bet. Number 3, not utilizing negative keywords. So what are negative keywords? Well, you have your main search keywords like ceramic coating near me, ceramic coating city, and then your negative keywords are basically any keywords paired with the search that you want Google to not show your ads for. For example, you can put negative keywords as do it yourself or how to or cheap, and any of those words paired with your search terms, if someone searches, let's say, do it yourself ceramic coating, that because it has those words and you added them as the negative, it will not trigger your ad. And this prevents so much wasted ad spend, so your ads are not being shown to irrelevant searches or to irrelevant audiences. You don't want people searching for, cheapest ceramic coating near me, and keeping it just strictly relevant to the exact searches and the exact customers you want for your business. Pro tip, this also helps with your metrics. You're gonna have a higher click-through rate, a higher conversion rate, and Google will reward you with those good metrics. Number 4, not separating your Google Ads services into separate either ad groups or campaigns. Most of the time recommend campaigns. So a huge mistake we see, somebody puts together a campaign and it's just jumbled with tint and ceramic coating and paint protection film. All the keywords are all together and it just goes to the main page on their website. What the best way to do it is to separate every service, so you have one campaign for ceramic coatings, and then your ad is specifically crafted for ceramic coatings, and then it goes to a specific ceramic coating landing page or website page, and then repeat for paint protection film, detailing. That way the ads are most relevant to what the searcher is looking for, resulting in more likely for them to click on your ads, and for the landing page or website to convert, because it actually showcases right there without them having to click around exactly what they're looking for. Number 5, not having conversion tracking in place. So you don't want to just run a Google ad and just kind of see, does revenue go up, and just kind of hope for the best. You want to set up conversion tracking so that way you can see which ads are working, which keywords are working, what users came from the ads and which ones booked. That way you can track your ROI or return on investment to see how much money return you're getting from the ads. This is good for overall, so you can see, okay, we're putting in this much in, we're getting this much out. It's also good for fine tuning. Sometimes you'll see some campaigns doing better than others. You can shift the ad spend to double down on what's working. You can see what ads are working, what ads are not working, and really know what's going on with your campaigns to maximize the return on investment. Also, getting a little advanced with it, having conversions in place feeds data back to Google And if you have conversion-based bidding strategies in place, it helps optimize and show your ads to more of those users. But we'll go over that in a completely different video, so stay tuned for what's to come. First 6 mistake that we see is focusing only on the ads. So the ads isn't just a quick setup, put it out there on Google and a cure-all for everything. You also need to focus on where those ads being directed, because you can have the most dialed in ads, great headlines, but if they go to your landing page or website and it's just not dialed in, they can easily just click off and go to your competitor. You need to make sure that your landing page and website are dialed in, and you also want to focus on your sales. That's another part of the puzzle we see that sometimes can be missing. Great ads, great destination that they arrive to, but then once they get the leads, the sales is just not quite where it needs to be in order to close these leads. So focusing on all 3 of those, focusing on your sales process, focusing on the quality of your content and the destination, whether it's a website or landing page, and really focusing on the whole picture. It's not as easy as just creating an ad and just makes you money. You have to make sure you have everything in place, and then it just becomes a money printing machine. Number 7, just as much as you had patience to get the end of this video, also having patience with your Google Ads campaign. While Google Ads, relatively compared to other advertising avenues, is just a quick turn on and start making money, it does take some time, it does take some patience. It takes some time for it to start kind of spinning up in the algorithm, gathering the data for both Google to utilize and for you to analyze and utilize, split testing, and finding out what works in your market. So if you're doing it yourself, definitely expect to have it take a little bit longer than you thought. Definitely expect to spend a little bit more money than you thought as you're gathering the data, figuring out what works, especially if you're not, necessarily professional and doing it yourself. I hate to say it, but you're gonna make mistakes, you're gonna waste some ad spend, so you're gonna have to plan accordingly for that. Now, if you want to accelerate all of that and minimize wasted ad spend, minimize mistakes, and run what's known exactly to work, I highly recommend hiring a professional. That way, if you want to just focus on your business and just know your Google Ads are running smooth, bringing in the most ROI as possible, that's going to be the best way to do it. So that's it for this video. I'm just starting my journey making content, so please follow along for much more videos. If you have any suggestions, you can comment, you can send me a message. I'm not just saying that for engagement. Genuinely want to know, what do you want to learn? Because I want to help and I want to see you thrive. So with that being said, till next time.